What's up with the Hawk Tuah girl? That's segment number 2. Can't wait for her to do the right-wing grift circuit. Isn't she already? She definitely looks like a right-winger. Well, that's just anti-white racism. Hi, Haley Welch. That's the Hawk Tuah girl. My $35,000 that I purchased of Hawk Coin is now $2,000 after 10 minutes of buying. I am a huge fan of Hawk Tuah, but you took my life savings. I purchased your coin, Hawk Coin, that you were so excited about with my life savings and children's college education fund as well. You didn't mention that you were going to buy 97% of the supply and sell it almost immediately to make a large profit. If I had known that information, I would not have purchased your coin. Please help me, or who can I contact for refund? If not, I will be forced to use legal action. My crypto representative, Kobe, will be in touch. And here we see the fall of Hawk Coin. This looks fake. You know what? You know what I've learned? You can't tell. You can't tell with the crypto Twitter accounts because they act indistinguishably from the way you would act to make fun of them. They're just like that. Obviously, the Hawk Tuah girl, she said Hawk Tuah spit on that thing. You all remember the bombastic meme sensation that was that. That went really popular with your coworkers, but not with you. And then, some of the people that you maybe watch who are a little bit more humorous started using it like ironically, as I have and continue to, especially with my close personal friends, where they'll say like, hey, can I get past you? I need to walk to the fridge. And I'll say, walk Tuah. And then they'll look at me and I'll laugh really hard at my own joke. Like that, ironically, like in a way that's funny to me. And then they stab me. Then they walk past the fridge, grab a kitchen knife and stab me. Exactly. You're the reason I find that shit funny. You. It's over. It's over. Take some responsibility. I'm sure there's lots of other things I do and say that you don't find funny. Maybe this one just hit with you. Okay. Man, the crypto valuation, this one really took off, huh? Look, Hawk Coin peaked at 500 million total value, the combined value of all the coin. And then, as you might notice, it plummeted. What happened? Well, you're not going to believe this, but Hawk Tuah girl's Hawk Coin was a scam. I know. It's a really simple one, actually. Basically, a significant majority of the total coins that were minted on the making public of the coin, when the coin was dropped, a significant portion of the coins that were already minted were held by the founders. So rather than it starting at the bottom and being organically invested into, thus raising the value, it was already held to a large extent, meaning that as the value climbed, which it very quickly did, the founders could then immediately sell their Hawk Coin and walk Tuah the bank. It was a scam. See how it starts right here at like moment one, a very high valuation, because so many of the coins were already held. The value of all the coins was perceived to be very high because they were immediately in high demand and very scarce. And then they sold. Anyway, so is this illegal? Well, crypto is not really regulated, so good luck with that. It's just a classic rug pull. It is very funny. Yeah, here we have from Cointelegraph. For a second, I thought this said Co-Intelgraph, which maybe. Haley Welch's meme coin Hawk has plunged 90% since its launch, though Welch has denied any insider sales from herself and her team. Basically, it's not illegal to do a rug pull with crypto. It's just considered bad form, even though everyone does it. The launch of viral influencer Haley Welch's Hawk Tuah meme coin sparked outrage across social media as the newly launched token briefly pumped and then dumped. rapidly following a controversial development involving allegations of snipers and insider wallets. Welch has denied any insider sales or activity on behalf of her team or any affiliated entities. Peaked at $490 million, the price of the token then plummeted and was trading at a valuation of $41.7 million at the time of publication, marking a 91% downturn in less than 3 hours. That's crazy. According to aggregated data from Bubble Maps and Deck Screener, a mix of insider wallets and snipers, entities that rapidly buy up huge amounts of a token supply at launch, controlled between 80 to 90% of Hawk Coin's supply at launch. So this is insane. It basically means that like the moment the coin drops, the perceived value of the coin skyrockets because it's like, whoa, hold on, there's not that many left. It's all bought already. And then as more people jump in to raise its price, the founders, the people already holding the coin, just instantly sell, plummeting the value of the coin, but making themselves millions and millions of dollars. You know, you get the idea, right? In a December 5th post to Twitter, Welch's official account said the team hadn't sold any tokens and no key opinion leaders were given free coins. Definitely lying. Just definitely 100% lying. It added that they had launched the token on decentralized liquidity protocol Meteora to reduce sniping risk. I don't know enough about CryptoCoin to comment on this. I'm sure that Folding Ideas would probably... Dan Olson, get in on this, okay? I'm sure you're going to make a video on this. Copy and pasting. Hawkonomics. Team hasn't sold one token and not one KOL was given one free token. We tried to stop snipers as best as we could through high fees. You wouldn't put an apostrophe here. In the start of launch at Meteor AG, fees, you wouldn't put an apostrophe here, have now been dropped. So there you have it. Still, according to data from Solana Block Explorer Soul Scanner, one wallet managed to snipe Hawk seconds after launch, purchasing 17.5% of the supply of the meme coin for around $1 million. Over the next 1.5 hours, the wallet sold 135.8 million Hawk tokens for a profit of 1.3 million. And see, they say you can't make a quick buck these days. You know, they say the get rich quick schemes are all a waste of your time. I really lost $43,000 aping in Hawk Tuah coin, wrote one user on Twitter. Well, don't worry, you still have you only lost 578 in Purple Pepe, and you've barely lost any in Solana, so... Look, this is obviously objectively very funny. Some of you guys might be wondering why cryptocurrency still exists, even though the crypto bubble popped a little while ago, and it's been proven so consistently and in so many times why it's still an issue. It's just a speculative vessel for pump and dump schemes. It exists for the same reason the stock market exists. Everything that happens in cryptocurrency is basically a very fast motion version of what happens when private equity firms get their hold on the corporations they buy up at a discount up on Wall Street. You know, now the Wall Street is admittedly much more complicated than like a traditional crypto pump and dump scheme, but fundamentally it still comes down to the basics where you take advantage of suckers and end up making out like a bandit with a lot more money without having produced anything of necessarily any value. It's not like stock market evaluation corresponds to the value of the production of the company that's being evaluated. It's just shareholder confidence. And that's exactly what investment in crypto is. Crypto's unregulated, yeah, which is why crypto is beloved by really wealthy people who know how to game the system and make a lot of money off of their understanding of the system. It's not a fair environment for investment, because in a fair environment for investment, you would have, everyone would have more or less equal information, and it would just be like down to your judgment whether or not your investments are valuable, whether or not they work out. And that can't really happen with cryptocurrency because none of these coins can do anything. It's just vibes. Cryptocurrency isn't going anywhere because it is a way for wealthy people to make more money than they already had. Just like this. Same damn issue. There's nothing behind meme coins, right? There's no product. Yes, that is correct. I strongly feel like all this should be illegal. Well, in the main stream, like in Wall Street, a lot of this is. But again, A pump and dump, which is illegal on Wall Street, is basically just a more obvious version of what private equity firms already do, right? Like, this is a pump and dump. By owning a significant majority of the coin from the beginning, you artificially inflate its value. Then as more people buy in and the price is higher than it was when you bought it, you do a mass sell, you dump, and you gain a nice profit. What do private equity firms do? They find companies that are failing, that don't have the capital that they need to continue. They buy them up on the cheap. They use the money to reinvigorate the company, and then they liquidate it and strip the assets, make all the money they can as they run it into the ground. Being bought by private equity is the death knell of many a good company, and I mean good company relatively speaking. That's basically a pump and dump, right? What about Vivek Ramaswamy? Remember what Vivek did? How did he get his money? Well, he worked with venture capital. He invested in what was it? It was a pharmaceutical company that had a product that wasn't working properly. He presided over that company as they worked on that formula, altered it, improved it, and then he left, bought out, before the company actually had to deliver on their promises. And then it didn't work. I keep forgetting Vivek's a billionaire. How much money is he worth? 1 billion. Yeah, he's a billionaire. But they're all hyper wealthy. The reason crypto coin ain't going nowhere is because it is the nature of that. This is how the economy works. This is how it works. Look at this. We're going to take a look at this really quick, and I want you to tell me if there is any difference between this and what Haley Welch did with Hawk Tuah coin. Okay? I misremembered the story slightly, but not in a way that invalidates my point. In 2014, Ramaswamy founded the biotech firm Roivant Sciences. The Roy in the company's name refers to return on investment. Nice, very subtle. Incorporated in Bermuda, a tax haven, received almost $100 million in startup capital from QVT and other investors, hedge fund managers, etc. His strategy was to purchase patents from larger pharmaceutical companies for drugs that had not yet been successfully developed and then bring them to market. The company created numerous subsidiaries, including Dermavant, Eurovent, and China-based Sinovent and Cytovent, focused on the Asian market. He raised $360 million. Raised in this context means he got investors to give him money for the Roivant subsidiary Axovent Sciences in an attempt to market Interberdine as a drug for Alzheimer's. In December 2014, Axovent purchased the patent for Interberdine from GlaxoSmithKline, where the drug had failed 4 previous clinical trials, for $5 million, a small sum in the industry. Thank you. Ramaswamy appeared on the cover of Forbes in 2015. Okay, he appeared on the cover of Forbes. What has he done so far? Nothing except attract investor value. That is it. He runs a pharma company that has yet to produce a single drug. He appears on the cover of Forbes. All he has done is convince investors that he will do something good. He has not done anything yet. He said his company would be the highest return on investment endeavor ever taken up in the pharmaceutical industry. Before new clinical trials began, he engineered an initial public offering in Axovent. Axovent became a Wall Street darling and raised $315 million in its IPO, in its initial public offering. Again, he has not produced anything yet. The company's market value initially soared to almost $3 billion, although at the time it had only 8 employees, including Ramaswamy's brother and mother. So 5 non-related employees. $3 billion. They have not produced anything. No tests, no trials, no drug, no medicine, nothing. It is entirely because he convinced investors that this was all going to blow up. Ramaswamy took a massive payout after selling a portion of his shares to in Roivant to Viking Global Investors. He claimed more than $37 million in capital gains 2015. He said his company would be the Berkshire Hathaway of drug development and touted the drug as a tremendous opportunity that could help millions of patients, prompting some criticism that he was overpromising. Why wouldn't he? He's on his way out. In September 2017, the company announced that Interberdine had failed in its large clinical trial. The company's value plunged. It lost 75% in one day and continued to decline afterwards. But who cares? It's too late. Shareholders who lost money included various institutional investors, such as the California State Teachers Retirement System Pension Fund. Oh yeah, non-Americans, by the way, a bunch of pension funds in our country are just like wildly invested. Like the pension fund is pooled, and then some jackass on Wall Street is like, yeah, I could use this. And then they give it to Ramaswamy or whatever. Why? This is the country that we live in. This is all legal, by the way. People are like, oh, cryptocurrency, it's so unregulated. All of this is legal. Remember when I said the stock market is fake and people got mad at me? Ramaswamy was insulated from much of Axevent's losses because he held his stake through Ryavent. The company abandoned Interberdine. In 2018, Ramaswamy said he had no regrets about how the company handled the drug. In subsequent years, he said he regretted the outcome, but was annoyed by criticism of the company. Axevent attempted to reinvent itself as a gene therapy company, but dissolved in 2013. While campaigning for the presidency, Ramaswamy called himself a scientist and said, I developed a number of medicines. So yeah, he is a... 2023, thank you. He is a billionaire. Now again, chat, what is the difference between this and this? Genuine question. Really, genuine question. I'm not being facetious. The only difference is the speed with which it happened and the exact mechanisms you need to work through to achieve the exact same outcome. That is it. That's it. That's literally it. So again, why is cryptocurrency still around? Because it always has been, brother. Why? How do people keep falling for it? What do you mean, how do they keep falling for it? How did they keep falling for it? Was anything ever real? You think that's air you're breathing? Do you not think any companies have a real value? It doesn't matter what the value of a company is. It's immaterial to their share price. Look at this. That's exactly the point that I'm making. Sure, you can argue that a meme coin is attached to nothing. So is this. Roivant Industries, Roivant Sciences, also attached to nothing. That's the point. Isn't attached to earnings? No. It's classic. Yeah, you seem to be suffering from the delusion that this makes sense. No. A company's evaluation and the money they raise is entirely down to how much hype people throw at it. That's it. How much hype there is. Doesn't matter whether it's gaining or losing money. Loss leaders are common. Did the company bring in any income? No. This, Roivant Sciences, they never produced a drug. They were a pharmaceutical company. They never produced a drug. They only lost money. They lost enormous amounts of money buying the patent, doing nothing with it, paying Ramaswamy and his family. They did nothing. They only made money through investment, but that's not profit, that's investment. And he's a billionaire now. I didn't say that, Sherazadian. You're imagining a position. I never said all companies are made of nothing. You're just imagining that. They did nothing, or did they manufacture the drugs, the patents? Were you listening? I literally read out loud this Wikipedia. They produced nothing. Isn't that fraud, though? No. It probably is fraud, though. Nope. Fraud is if you lie. All Ramaswamy said was that he was going to buy the patent, do big things with it. But that's not a legally challengeable claim. If you say you're going to do well and then things don't go well, that's not really like a lie. It's an estimation of your own value in the future, how much you'll be able to do. But it's not actionable. He ran for the presidency. He's co-running Doge. Anyway, I just wanted to drill this point home because, again, meme coins are just a more visible microcosm of the insanity that is the regular economy. The economy was not always like this. The economy used to be like, Christ alive, mercantilism had a more materially real backing to its economy than this. This is just, the stock market is insane, essentially. It's absolutely insane. It's called financialization. Yeah, even during the early days of capitalism, it wasn't like this. There used to be a more, like, we're in an environment now where, like, I mean, loss leaders are common, but it's not just loss leaders either. It's just the number of people who make their wealth doing literally nothing. Not even, like, in the sense that they don't do any work or whatever. At least Henry Ford owned a productive company. You know, like if you think of all the robber barons back in the like 1900s, yeah, Rockefeller, Ford, whatever else, they were pieces of shit, but their companies did stuff, right? Like Ford did stuff. These companies did things. But Elon Musk is the wealthiest man in the world, and his wealth is based on stock evaluation, in many cases for companies that are built entirely on like twigs, duct tape and subsidies. Unironically, it's easier to argue for capitalism with its initial industrial implementation than it is now. Oh yeah, for sure. Like Marx's points have only gotten more salient. If you could implement like Adam Smith style laissez-faire capitalism with the kinds of protections he advocated for, if you could implement that now with modern technology and blah, 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 you're not going back in time. But if you could take that sentiment into today, it would be like a fucking dream compared to what we have now. It would be like a breath of fresh air. It would be insanely sane and well ordered. We're in a fallen state.